Something that I didn't talk about with the Eucharistic Congress was the day after Father Mike's talk, I had actually gotten a text from a friend of mine who transferred away from Walsh to go down to Franciscan. And before I continue, she did give me the permission to tell the story. So I'm leaving her name out of it, but she had texted me and she's like, yeah, I need you to pray for me right now. My faith is kind of in a little bit of a rocky place. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're like one of the most devout people I've ever met. Like you can very clearly tell, like you are just a strong believer. Like you truly love other people. Like just one of the nicest, kindest people I've ever truly met. And she's just like, yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions. I don't really feel like my faith has grown a whole lot. I feel like a lot of Protestants around me have stronger faiths than I do. Like they have such a strong relationship with Jesus and they have all these wonderful things. And I just don't know if I'm limiting myself with the Catholic perspective right now. And you would think like going down to Franciscan, like the most Catholic place in Northeast Ohio, really just Ohio, or maybe even like this Midwestern sect in general, like she wouldn't be having that problem. But I asked her, I'm like, why do you think this is the case? And she's like, everyone here at Franciscan, they have come prepared to take a holy hour, to go to Mass daily. And if you're not ready to do that right out the gate, there's like this layer of you feel like you're behind and you have to do it just to catch up, not necessarily because you have to authentically grow in your faith. And I thought about that, and that answer kind of horrified me because I knew that was going to be part of it. I know people who have stayed in ministry circles their entire lives, never really getting outside of that bubble and talking to people of different faiths or of different backgrounds and mindsets. And they don't necessarily know how to interact with people on a basis that isn't strictly about Catholicism sometimes. And it can be tough. So I saw her and I just asked her, I'm like, look, do you think that you need to leave the church? And she's like, I don't think I do. And I'm like, good, because you don't. You don't need to leave the church. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of Protestants out there that have a wonderful relationship with Jesus, that are able to see what the Lord is doing and are on fire to love their neighbor and to give to charity and to go out and serve the poor, do all of that stuff, and they don't have the sacraments. And don't get me wrong, as a Catholic, that makes me very sad, but as a person who just wants to see this world reflect more of the kingdom of God, the fact that people are willing to do that, that's an amazing first step, and I am advocating for that all the way. So I'm already on fire for that, but thinking that you have to change your faith in order to make your relationship with Jesus better, that's not going to fix your problems. If anyone is struggling with their faith, either as a Catholic or a Protestant, one thing that you do have to ask yourself is, why are you struggling? Are you struggling because the community around you isn't giving you what you need to be successful? Or are you struggling because the teachings themselves are pushing you in a direction where you don't feel like you're actually growing, or because it just doesn't make sense? And for me, I think I found something that made a lot of sense here in the church. That's why I converted. That's why I'm here, is because I think I found something that made sense, something that's working for me. And I'm also finding good communities that are pushing me not only to say, no, this makes sense, but also, hey, there are other things that you can be doing too that can help you get to where you want to go. So in many respects, your faith isn't just you. Your faith is not just you. Your faith is everyone around you as well. So consider the communities that you're in. Just because it's 98% Catholic does not necessarily mean it's going to be where you're going to do the most growth.